Good afternoon, everyone. Here I have for you the greatest document in human recorded history, the SPL16 overall usage statistics. If you don't know what SPL is, it's a huge team tournament that's actually currently ongoing. I think it's in the semi-final round because of some tiebreakers that need to be played. So today I'm going to be talking about these usage statistics and Pokemon who are over-centralizing to their metagame. Well, not necessarily over-centralizing, but more so just Pokemon who are used much more than their peers. So if you enjoy this type of competitive Pokemon content, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I will make more. Or maybe I won't. It's not up to me at the end of the day, is it? It is, by the way. It's completely up to me. Where else to start but the start? Generation 1 Tauros is on 97% of teams. By the way, I think it could be 100, but there are battles where the player wins before Tauros even needs to be revealed, or before that player even feels like they need to bring out Tauros to do something. But I digress, so it could be 100. Tauros is a great late game cleaner and revenge killer, thanks to its very high speed and very high attack in Gen 1 standards. Runs Body Slam and Hyper Beam as big normal stabs that do huge damage, especially Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam, a move that doesn't need to recharge if you get a kill with it. Blizzard to hit the bulky Pokemon who are weak to ice, like Exeggutor and Rhydon, who you wouldn't be able to hit that hard otherwise. The fourth move is slightly more customizable. Earthquake is the standard to hit things like Gengar and Chansey if you don't want to let it counter you. But you can also run Fire Blast there to burn other Tauroses, because the Tauros matchup is very, very common. You can run Stomp to try and Paraflinch things, or you can run Thunderbolt to hit some things that otherwise kind of woo you, like Starmie and Cloyster. Cloyster especially. Cloyster's the only real, well, one of the only real quote-unquote Tauros checks. The second place is Snorlax. Snorlax having 93% usage. Snorlax being an incredibly bulky attacker who has higher attack stats than Tauros in 110. A problem with it though is the fact that it has middling defenses. But Reflect patches that up, which leads us into this first set. Body Slam, Reflect, Rest, and Ice Beam. Body Slam, as I said before, big stabs. Also 30% chance to paralyze, very helpful. Rest, so Snorlax can stick around for a long time. And Ice Beam, as with Tauros, to hit bulky, ice-weak Pokemon, like Exeggutor and Rhydon. Or, if you're a bit more of an aggressive person, then you can run an all-out attacking set with Body Slam and Hyper Beam, Self-Destruct and Earthquake. Self-Destruct being, I believe, the strongest move in the entire tier. Coming from Snorlax, that is. Because of how the damage calculation halves the target's defense, and also Snorlax having a very good attack stat and getting stab on it, makes it the strongest attack in the tier, making it much, much stronger than, say, Exeggutor's Explosion, even though Explosion is a stronger move than Self-Destruct. Earthquake also to hit Rhydon and Gengar. And, well, I guess any other rock type, Golem as well, but Golem, not incredible. Chansey, one of the, some would say, the only true special rule in the tier, thanks to it getting instant recovery, which is a commodity in Gen 1. There aren't too many Pokemon that get it. I think the only Pokemon in OU that get it are Starmie, Alakazam, and Chansey. I don't think there's anything else, unless I'm forgetting. Because of how the Gen 1 special stat works, it being special attack and special defense, Chansey also puts out very strong special attacks. As you can see here with this Bolt Beam set, which hit everything in the tier neutrally. Also has Soft Board, as I mentioned, and Thunder Wave to try and paralyze something that's very fast to make it easier for your, say, your Tauros or your Starmie to clean up late game. So, if you can get paralysis onto a Alakazam or a Starmie on the other team, then say Tauros is going to have a much easier time cleaning up. Chansey also can use Sing, a 55% accuracy move, but the accuracy isn't too consequential, thanks to it having some incredible bulk, meaning it gets the chance to click Sing many times throughout a game. And you know, you're going to hit it eventually. It's a real gambler's mentality right there. You're going to hit it eventually. But no, you're gonna get one. So the accuracy doesn't matter at the end of the day. Also using Ice Beam to hit Rhydon, because Rhydon is very scary to Chansey. It 2-hit KOs it with Earthquake, one of the only things in the tier that's going to 2-hit KO Chansey. While outspeeding. Well, it doesn't outspeed. But you know, if you have a paralyzed Chansey, then Rhydon is eating. And of course, to this day, Chansey and Blissey struggle with their very low physical defense. So with Reflect, you can patch that right up and take some hits that probably before you really shouldn't have. Like, as I said, Rhydon 2-hit KOs it, now it's a 4-hit KO. You can probably 1v1 Rhydon. But Seismic Toss does not break a Rhydon substitute because it is a 404 HP Pokemon. So maybe you don't really want to play through that matchup. Mr. 100%, that's right, 100% usage Snorlax in Gen 2. If you know anything about Snorlax in Gen 2, you know if you're not using Snorlax, you're asking to lose. It's not smart, it's not clever. Use Snorlax in Gen 2. The level 1 set is Curse Double Edge, Curse Normal Stab, Coverage Move, and Rest. This is what you'll be seeing most of the time. In this third move slot, as I said, it's a coverage move. You might see a lot of things there. Earthquake's a standard to hit the rocks and steels that resist your normal stab. But you know, then you can't hit Skarmory, so you might want to use Fire Blast, but then the rock types come in on you very easily. Like Golem switches into you and roars you out. So some would say Skarmory is like the one true check to Snorlax. Because if you're running coverage for Skarmory, other things probably beat you as well. So some people just say, no, I'm just going to have a different Pokemon take out Skarmory. So as I said, Fire Blast for Skarmory. You can run Lovely Kiss because Snorlax just gets every move known to man. You can have Self-Destruct as a normal stab as well, to just take the KO on literally anything. Thunder to hit water types easier, like Cloyster. And then Toxic to just annoy everything. I mean, Snorlax, as I said, every team in the game. If you're not using Snorlax, you're losing. You might see this as well, Monolax, with just one attacking move with a stab. With this Snorlax, you want to have more support for it, like having a Machamp in the back to deal with the Steel and Rock types and also the Ghost types with Hidden Power Ghost that really give this Snorlax some trouble due to it not being able to hit them. But you could also see this all-out attacking set a la Gen 1. Double Edge Earthquake for reasons we spoke about prior. Thunder to hit, Cloyster and Skarmory. And Self-Destruct to claim a kill on literally anything. Not resisted, of course. Because Self-Destruct got buffed to 200, but that's really 400 thanks to the damage halving effect. Moving on to Gen 3, we are truly in the Tyranitar era right now. Tyranitar is a very dangerous sweeper thanks to Dragon Dance. Using Rock Slide and Earthquake, which I believe is a combination that is resisted by nothing. And Hidden Power Bug or Grass to hit Celebi or Swampert, that's it. Depending on what you need. And Starmie's hit by both of those hidden powers, so haha. By the way, this is the bulky Dragon Dance set, this is the fast Dragon Dance set. Exact same thing, just different EV values. The fast Dragon Dance T-Tar outspeeds a Starmie after one boost. And everything's slower, of course. Tyranitar can also run Crunch and Pursuit. Get used to seeing that combination of moves on T-Tar, because we'll be looking at that. And it runs Fire Blast also to get rid of Skarmory, because it's not really hitting Skarmory too hard otherwise. Like even Rock Slide, even though it's a neutral hit, and Skarmory's taking that like nothing. You might also see some of these weirdo mixed attacking sets. Fire Blast to hit the aforementioned Skarmory and other steals. Hidden Power Grass to hit Waters and especially Swampert. Ice Beam to hit things like Celebi, Flygon, and Salamence. And then Brick Break to hit other Tyrannitars and things like Blissey that are weak to fighting, of course. Tyranitar is everywhere in Gen 3. Next up, a Pokemon some people say is number 1, Skarmory. Skarmory is the best spiker in the tier, and it's not even close. Fortress does not come close to Skarmory's greatness. Skarmory, of course, using spikes, as I just said. Raw for phasing to rack up spikes damage, or, you know, get rid of something that annoys you, like a Magneton switching in. Protect to get some chip healing with leftovers, and Toxic to, again, annoy things. Not really, it's just the fact that Skarmory can take so many hits so that your opponent can be getting chipped down while that happens. Combine that with Protect, Skarmory can put in some damage. A big issue with Skarmory is the fact that it's really taken out by Magneton if you can't roar it out on the switch. So, because it traps it and kills it with Thunderbolt. So what Skarmory can do is flip that matchup on its head, use Hidden Power Ground with full attack and speed investment. But that is at the cost of having a much worse Skarmory to do literally anything else except beat Magneton. So is that worth it? It's completely up to you. Oh yeah, this original Skarmory also sometimes runs Taunt and some speed investment instead of Toxic to get other Skarmories to not get spikes. You might also see Drill Peck being run, so A, that Skarmory has an attack, and B, hit Heracross and Breloom very hard. Both targets who are 4 times weak to flying. And that's about it for Skarmory. Hidden Power Ground. This is where the T-Tar era truly begins. In Gen 4, Crunch and Pursuit, finally physical. I might not have talked about it in Gen 3 actually, but it did use... I must have. But now it's not special anymore, meaning it's not coming off of that puny base 95 special attack. It's coming off the 134 physical attack, which obviously make it much stronger. Psychic and Ghost types be scared. Tyranitar will come in, take a special move, take no damage, and kill you instantaneously. Be aware, Latias. That is also helped by Tyranitar having Sandstream, which gives rock types a 50% boost to special defense in the sand. Meaning, you know, he's really taking like a Draco Meteor from Latias for nothing. Tyranitar can still run mixed sets with Fire Blast to hit Skarmory. I didn't finish talking about this set. Superpower to hit things like Clefable and other T-Tars, because as I said, T-Tars everywhere. And Stone Edge to have a big stupid stab move for the flying types like Zapdos and Aerodactyl. Crunch and Pursuit still on this mix set, and Fire Blast to hit Skarmory, and other weird choices like Magnezone and Bronzong. If those things are going to stay in on Tyranitar, I don't think they are though. Bronzong maybe, because it's not hit by Earthquake. And then Stone Edge again, big stupid stab to hit the flying types. As I was talking about earlier with the special defense, you can also take advantage of that and run full Spadef and have a pretty much a special wall, to be honest, that can get up rocks and protect to get chip healing, and then Crunch and Earthquake everything. You can also run Pursuit here to do what Tyranitar does best in Pursuit. What else is he gonna do? And here comes a sad end to the Tyranitar domination era in Generation 5, where Tyranitar uses Crunch and Pursuit and Thunder Wave, being more of a support Pokemon. The thing that shows this the best, I will show you this. if I just want to move OBS to the right. I'm moving OBS, but you can't tell. If I go into the black and white OU usage, here we are. Moves by Pokemon. There is a moves by Pokemon header. It just counts how many times a Pokemon uses a move and how many times he uses a move in total. So Jirachi here has 119 moves and used Iron Head 35 times. Latias used 111. Landorus Fairy used 103. Takes a second to get down to T-Tar. He's in the number 10 slot despite being the most used Pokemon. And that shows kind of what T-Tar's doing here. T-Tar isn't like, say, the dangerous boost sweeper or big damage dealer that he was before. It's more of a support mon that comes in and pursues every once in a while. Which, you know, some would say it's sad to see, but Tyranitar is still eating hard on those, all the psychic Pokemon that could be around. You know, like Alakazam, Reuniclus, and Latios is a big one. I want to move this back, please. Forgot to do that last time and had to restart recording. Also carrying Superpower to hit other T-Tars and things like Ferrothorn, which, you know, if you kill your opponent's Ferrothorn before they even get the hazards up, then you're gonna have a much easier time. Chopper Berry to, of course, take a fighting type move. That's very good in the Alakazam matchup. Because in the Alakazam matchup, Alakazam can't switch out, or else it's just going to go down to its Sash for no reason. Alakazam is more likely to stay in and try and Focus Blast you twice through your Chopper Berry. Next up, Latios. Incredible late game cleaner, one of the best since the weather speed boosting abilities were banned. Draco Meteor, pre-nerf, 140 base power. With Surf to hit things like Excadrill that come in and take your Draco Meteors for nothing. You also could see Latios with Hidden Power. Dropped my mouse there, jeez. You might also see Latios with a Hidden Power Fire to hit Ferrothorn, but that's not too common anymore. Trick, because if you can trick a Choice Scarf onto a defensive Pokemon, then you know that defensive Pokemon's well, not literally, but pretty much out of commission. You know, you trick a Scarf into a Ferrothorn, gonna be much easier to deal with. Because it's not gonna be able to get all those hazards up. And Dragon Pulse is there if you want to lock into a move that isn't Draco Meteor, because of course Draco Meteor lowers your special attack by 2 stages. There is also this set, since Latios is very weak to T-Tar in this pursuit. You could run Colbur Berry to switch out on T-Tar and not die, and come in later and recover it off. Latios can fit on every team style, like genuinely any team style. Fits on Sand, as in the Scythe Spam archetype especially. Fits on Rain as a late game cleaner. Jeez. Fits on Rain as a late game cleaner is what I was trying to say. Fits on Weatherless, fits on Dragmag. Any team style you're running in Gen 5, it probably can have Latios. You can probably fit a Latios on there and it will make your team much better. On to Gen 6. Welcome to the Hour of Excadrill, I will call this. Being mostly a support Pokemon with a lot of support, Toxic and Rapid Spin are huge. With Earthquake and Iron Head to take out anything that Toxic doesn't hit, like a Steel type or a Clefable with Magic Guard, of course. Iron Head also hitting all of the Fairy types. Again, with the Gen 3 Dragon Dance T-Tar, this is fast utility. You know, it's the moveset we just talked about. But the specially defensive and physically defensive one use the exact same sets, showing how versatile this Pokemon is just by changing around some EVs, you know, of having more defense investment or more special defense investment to change what Excadrill can do completely. There's so many choices, and your opponent doesn't know what moves you can and can't take. They're gonna have to find out mid-battle, and you know, scary. If your opponent is busy trying to figure out what support set you are, what you can take and what you can't take, you might be paired with a Tyranitar or a Mega Tyranitar and have the chance to Swords Dance and just sweep the entire team by being faster than everything thanks to Sand Rush. Not as good as it was in Gen 5 because of Sand not being permanent anymore. but it can still get some big damage done, gets a lot of kills after a dance. Thanks to it already having a very high attack stat of 135 base. Not much is coming in on Excadrill. By the way, Excadrill has like double the usage of 3rd place Clefable and like 20% more than 2nd place Serperior, so it's good. It's gonna be on. It's on like 50 something %, I think. Welcome to the era of Landorus-T. Some would say we were already in it. You know, some would say it started in Gen 5. But this is when it's truly getting used a whole bunch. In Gen 7. The Scarf set, I see this in my dreams. I see Scarf Landorus-T U-turn in my sleep. I close my eyes for 5 seconds. I'm mentally scarred, man. I got PTSD from Lando. Anyways, as I said before, Earthquake and Stone Edge hits everything neutrally. And the Fog, freshly buffed in Gen 6, now using it in Gen 7, to remove any hazards for some of your teammates, friends. Because you know, obviously boots aren't a thing yet. Thank you, Landorus. I hate you. You also love to see the defensive set, which sets up rocks and U-turns out usually. That's usually what it's doing. But it can also slam some earthquakes on some grounded Pokemon, obviously. And even an uninvested Landorus is still hitting pretty hard. You know, 326 is insane for completely uninvested. And Hidden Power Ice to hit, you guessed it, other Landorus-T. It's not just for Landorus-T, but most of the time you're hitting Landorus-T with it. Or you're getting Rocky Helmet chip on them if they try and U-turn out, so... Yep. The Lando matchup is winning for Lando, is what I'm trying to say here. Next up, a Pokemon I enjoyed reading about a lot. Magearna. Magearna, a support set, well, not really support, but... Yeah. Floor Cannon is the Fairy type Draco Meteor, but then it can switch that with Heart Swap. It can give the opponent the -2 in special attack, which is very helpful. You can also use Pain Split for some healing, because its HP is not the highest, only base 80. Or you can even Volt Switch to, you know, get some momentum and perhaps react to the opponent's switch, because if you Volt Switch, obviously, then and your opponent switches out, then you get to choose based on what they bring in, which is awesome. Magearna can also use this Calm Mindset with the Gen 7 buff of the Healing Berries, which heal 50% of your HP now instead of 1/3 like it is today. Using Calm Mind, Floor Cannon, Focus Blast, and Thunderbolt. Scary stuff. This hits a lot. And you're not safe. Trust me, you're not safe. From Calm Mind Magearna. Also runs a lot of bulk, so not the easiest thing to try and get in and kill. So good luck. Apologies for those two gens of analysis. I don't know much about Gen 6 and 7. I haven't played that much. That's what generation I kind of know about. Landorus is back again. This time in the special defense form. Using Earthquake and U-turn as it always did. But this gen is using Toxic to try and break down some of the balance, because Gen 7 is a lot of balance. Gen 8 is a lot of balance teams that run a lot of heavy duty boots. So obviously Toxic goes a long way in trying to get rid of, you know, some of the defensive threats on the opponent's team. Also using the Fog, just like last time, to get rid of the hazards on both sides of the field, actually. So, you know, if you have Pokemon that aren't boots, then Lando's for you. His brother is also here. I don't know the relationship between Landorus and Tornadus, but in my head, they're brothers. Tornadus uses Hurricane and the Fog just like his brother. Well, the Fog just like his brother, U-turn as well. And gets in and tries to knock off a lot of boots, because knocking off boots is the biggest thing you can do in Generation 8. Because if you can get rid of your opponent's boots and you're a hazard team, then Your opponent's going to be taking a lot on switch, because they might not even have the resources to try and remove the hazards, because they have boots, which is their hazard removal in effect. Also, yes, Hurricane is a big stab move, which is very strong. Very inaccurate, but very strong. If you can hit it, then your opponent might drop to that. You guys run a nasty plot set with the most inaccurate move set ever. Hurricane, Focus Blast, and Heat Wave. That is a hellish set to use. I would be terrified of even using that. I hate Tornadus for these reasons. But the 70% of the time you do hit your moves after a nasty plot, you are killing everything. Like Tornadus is already pretty high special attack and very fast, of course. But it's, you know, doing its thing. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, it has Regenerator, so I've used this analogy before. U-turn is a healing move for certain Pokemon, which is a messed up thought, but that is kind of what's happening, if you think about it. I will end it off there. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, please, I'm begging you. Recording this video kind of sent me insane. I got like 20 minutes in several times and just messed up late in. And had to restart, so I'm very happy this is done. Thanks for watching. Bye.